Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. Today, we are going to make a delicious summery peach tart.
Cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Okay, so it is summertime and these beautiful peaches are in season, so I just couldn't resist. I had to make a recipe for you guys. And what better than a peach tart? It's great just for a light after dinner dessert, or for taking to a potluck or something like that, or a picnic. It would be great. So we're just going to get started. We're going to start with our crust, and what I have here is 2 cups of almond meal. It can be almond flour or almond meal. I just feel like almond meal I get from Trader Joe's, and it's way cheaper, way more affordable. So that's what we're going to go with. 1 cup of pitted medjool dates, and that's it. We're just going to get this in the food processor and blend it until it starts crumbing and sticking together. And once it gets close to the end, you see here how it's pretty crumbly, but it's not quite sticking together. You might need to put a little bit of water. So I've got just about 1/2 tablespoon of water here that I'm going to put in there, and then run it until it sticks together. And the water won't affect it at all. Okay, there we go. So that's all it needed. It needed just a teeny bit more of moisture. And sometimes, you know, the almond meal can be a little bit dry. So it doesn't hurt to add just a teeny bit of water to that. And what I have here, I have a 9-inch tart pan. It's got the removable bottom, because it's got the cute little scalloped edge, you know. It's so nice to flop that out and have it on a tray. It's so pretty. So we are just going to put it in there. And you don't even need to put parchment paper. You can if you want, but you don't really need to, because there's a lot of oil naturally in the almonds that will help it to not stick to the pan. So we're just going to press it into the pan. That just takes a few minutes. Okay, there we've got our crust. Beautiful. Okay, and now we'll move on to the peaches. And I've got 4 peaches here. Move those dates aside. And these are pretty large, so you'll just have to adjust accordingly to whatever fits in your pan. We may not even need the full 4 because these are so large. Okay, so I like to cut them in half, just like this, because we want to pull out the pit and we want to have the nice edges still to slice, because we're going to make this a real pretty fan in the pan. So that's how you just slice it around and you twist the peach gently, and then if they're ripe, you should be able to pull that pit out pretty easily. Okay, and then we're going to cut that into another 1/4, and then we're going to start slicing. You could mandolin them, but if they're ripe, the mandolin is just going to make it really mushy, and you're not going to get these nice pretty slices like this. So just slice up the rest of your peaches and leave half, because we're going to use that to make a sauce to put in the bottom to lay the peaches in. So we're just going to set that guy aside and continue to slice. Okay, now our peaches are done and sliced, and we're going to move on to the sauce. Okay, and I just have my magic bullet here because it's a smaller amount, and the larger blenders have a kind of an issue with the smaller amount of liquid. So we're just going to use my magic bullet. So I'm going to use that 1/2 of a peach, like before. Put it in there, and the full recipe will be in a link in the details below. And 2 dates. Make sure you get those pits out of there. A teaspoon of arrowroot powder. And if you don't have arrowroot powder, you can use tapioca starch or cornstarch. That will work just as fine. and then 3/4 of a cup of water. And then we're just going to blend this until it's a really smooth consistency. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to invite you to click the subscribe button and then the little bell notification so that you can get notified every time we put out a new show here on YouTube. Be sure to check out our growing line of printable cookbooks, guides, and apparel. We also offer free and paid memberships on our community website. And last but not least, be sure to head over to our official website at plantbasedcookingshow.com to browse through hundreds of original recipes, tips, and resources on plant-based living. Okay, back to the show. Okay, there we go. If you can see that. It's really smooth and creamy. So that's how we're going to start our pie. We're going to use about 2/3 of this and put it in the bottom of the pan. And the arrowroot that's in there is going to help it to gel up just a little bit and to kind of hold it all together. We're going to leave just a little bit so that we can pour it over the top. So now is the fun part. You get to decorate this beautiful pie with these peaches. So I like to start from the outside, and we're just going to create like a fan. Wow, that is gorgeous. Look at that. I think that's going to be so pretty. Actually, I'm going to replace this one with a smaller piece. See if we can get the little, I think so, the little skin edge in there. That's so pretty. Okay, there it is. So we are going to drizzle just a little bit more of this sauce on the top. Just move it around a little bit more over here. And I already have my oven preheated to 350. So we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for 35 minutes, and then we get to eat it. All right, guys, look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Oh, wow. So I took it out of the oven, and it's been cooling for probably over an hour. I wanted to make sure it was nice and cool. You can eat it warm, but it's easier to cut and to get out of the pan once it's cool. So now we're just down to the taste. And I know for a fact that this is going to taste amazing. Okay. Wow, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So sweet and delicious with 0 sugar. You're gonna love it. I'll see you next time.